Took a split with complimentary plays. For once, the Norse of Northern Kentucky actually let me down as they lose outright at home to Oakland as the Golden Grizzlies get the straight-up road win. But then Wright State, a week too late as far as I'm concerned, because last Saturday they lost for me as a rare 20-dime release. But last night they rewarded me as a complimentary win with a double-digit blowout home rout of Detroit. And of course, that was also a nice big win once more for Jack Brayman, as he yet had another 100-dime college basketball release on those Wright State Raiders, and he is one of the featured plays going once more today. Top-rated 100-dime college basketball winner, number 20 out of 30 and number 8 out of 11. And again, Jack is dealing with another small conference, this time heading out to the Big Sky for a 100-dime max wager release today on Southern Utah and Montana State. Hey, listen, who can complain as long as he keeps winning them? You get it for over half price off by using coupon code JACK. Another featured play today is coming from Chris Jordan. Last night he cashed in with the top-rated 100-dime release in the end. Number 31 out of 45 as the Lakers won outright over the Chicago Bulls. You got that for over half price off, winning day number 10 out of 11 over the past 427 days. So we're talking a little over 12 and a half months. $1 bettors have made over $59,000 today. Top-rated 1,000 star non-conference game of the year. It's part of your Big 12 SEC clash, Mississippi and Texas. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code Chris. One of the games in that challenge is going to be one of today's free picks. I want to take a look and break down the game between Texas A&M and Kansas. I also have a free pick on the Miami of Florida State game coming up as well. Matt Rivers, a blank check release going today. It's the fifth one in college basketball this season. It's a mid-major blowout game of the year. It goes on the afternoon card. Now, Matt says forget about the Duke Virginia game, and I bring that up for a reason. He went 7-3-1 with with NFL blank check plays this season. You get it for over half price off by using the coupon code blank. Matthew Parker has his second 100-dime max wager release in basketball this season. His first one was December 20th. It was in the NBA. On that night, he had the Chicago Bulls, a 5.5-point favorite. They beat the Orlando Magic by 18. You got it for over half price off. His second one goes today. It is on the Duke-Virginia game. And you get it for over half price off by using the coupon code Parker. All the other discounts and coupon codes over on the homepage. This, of course, being Saturday, you know the drill, guys. Each and every Saturday, you can use a coupon code that could potentially save you hundreds of dollars off your total purchase price. And that coupon code today is 24%, 24 PERCE. Sing it after me. It is a mix and match coupon code, which means you can use it for any combination of handicappers, picks, and or packages. The only stipulation, it's a one-time coupon code, which means you've got to put everything in your shopping cart at one time before using it. And remember, if you ever have any questions, you can always contact customer service. That's what they're there for. Let's get to that complimentary play on the Texas A&M contest. Listen, Texas A&M is coming off a 77-65 loss to LSU in Baton Rouge. That is their fourth consecutive road loss, and those are all in true road games. Previously, they had lost at 13 in Knoxville, Tennessee. They had lost by 1 at Kentucky. They had lost by 22 at Alabama. Now, Kansas is coming off an 85-80 loss at Oklahoma, a game that the Jayhawks certainly should have won. That snapped a 5-game winning streak. The only reason I didn't use Kansas as a best bet today, well, there's two reasons. I like the other game better that I used for my best bet today, is that they do have a big rematch game with Kansas State on Monday. Now, Texas A&M has lost 6 of their last 8 games overall. Okay, this is a very tall team, Texas A&M, because they're anchored by those twin towers, a pair of 6'10 guys with a lot of beef up front, Tyler Davis and Robert Williams. So they've got a strong interior defense. They block a lot of shots. They're 29th in offensive rebounding percentage, according to KenPom.com. But here's an interesting thing. 44% of their shots come at the rim, according to KenPom.com. That's the 14th highest percentage of all of the 351 Division I teams in college basketball. Conversely, they're a horrendous three-point shooting team because they don't have very good guard play, and they're constantly taking advantage of those two big 6'10 guys funneling the ball inside, which is certainly understandable. They don't take a lot of three-point shots. Consequently, they don't make a lot of three-point shots. And they're ranked 288th in the nation in terms of their three-point shooting ability. So when you think about it, and a lot of coaches talk about this, that, the two-point shot, that's fine. But if you don't have a three-point shot in your arsenal, you are up X number of points per game. The other thing that they don't do, because they're weak at the guard spot, is that they don't defend the perimeter well. Those big men don't come out from out of the blocks. They don't guard the perimeter well. Opponents hit almost 39% of their three-point shots. Well, what is Kansas? They're a guard team. Kansas doesn't have much size, okay? But they're a good shooting team. They're a four-guard team. And that's going to be the Jayhawks' advantage here in this game. Now, Kansas just played a very similar team, and that was Baylor. And they had to go on a late 9-0 run to win that game by 3 at home. The difference being between Baylor and Texas A&M is the Bears can play in transition. The Bears have a much better backcourt than Texas A&M. And that's why I lean toward going ahead and laying the points with Kansas in this matchup today. The other game I'm going to go with is Florida State minus the 4 to 4.5 at home against Miami of Florida. Now, this is a revenge game because the first meeting went Miami's way at home, 80 to 74 when these two met in back on January 7th. The Hurricanes are coming off a 78-75 home win against Louisville. They're 2-2 on the ACC road. They won at Pittsburgh and North Carolina State. Big deal. They lost at Georgia Tech by 10. They lost to Clemson at Clemson by 9. Miami, a very good defensive team. They only allow about 63.7 points a game. Florida State, though, they're on the opposite end of the scale. Forget about defense. Florida State, they got scored. That is the name of the game. They average 84.6 points a game. They've won 9 out of 10 in Tallahassee. Florida State's coming off an 88-77 win at home against Georgia Tech. Before that, a week ago, remember, they went to Virginia Tech, a Virginia Tech team that had won all but one game in Roanoke up this season, and that loss was only coming against Virginia, nothing to be ashamed about. And they pulled the upset in that one, 91-82, having lost 3 of their previous 4 games. It's a 4.5-point margin here. And it's kind of a big number when you consider how this series has played out. Yet, I'm going to go with Florida State. They're a good rebounding team. Again, they don't play a lot of defense, but in this rematch, I think taking the team that's a better offensive team, I think is the way to go. So I'm going to go with Florida State in this contest. Here's a little bonus opinion for you. You've got Duke and Virginia today. This line is sitting at 4.5 points. You've got the best offensive team in the nation, the best offensive rebounding team in the nation against the best defensive team in the nation. I just used Virginia at home as a 10-dime play a couple of nights ago when they were taking on Clemson. And they pounded the Tigers 61-36 in that contest. But just keep in mind that Clemson was playing its first game since losing its second leading scorer, its second leading rebounder, Dante Grantham, who was averaging like 15 points and 8 rebounds a game. So that outcome was no surprise to me. This is a Virginia team that has done well point spread wise at Duke. Haven't won at Duke since 1995, but point spread wise at Duke, they're on a 12-3-1 ATS roll. And point spread wise outside of Charlottesville, Virginia has covered 6 of its last 7 games on the road. But this is also a Duke team that's undefeated at home. Now, a lot of guys will say, well, you got to back the better defensive team. I don't know. You can't win the game if you don't score, right? I just go and I look at this team and I think that Duke, with their size up front, with the freshman Bagley, with Wendell Carter, I mean, you got 6'11", 6'10". You have a plethora of scorers with Duke. The Blue Devils, when they have so many ways to beat you offensively. And for as good as Tony Bennett's team is defensively, you can only guard so many guys. If this game was in Charlottesville, yeah, maybe I'd be grabbing the points because Virginia would undoubtedly be the underdog. And Duke went into Virginia last year and won, remember. And I think this Duke team is more potent offensively than last year's squad. And although Virginia is a better offensive team than it's been the last couple of years, I still think Duke is going to get the win and the cover today. And this is also an interesting game in terms of looking at this number. It's sitting at 4.5 most of last night and today. You've seen some books move to 4. If I was betting this game, and again, I'm a proponent 99% of the time, you bet the favorites early and the underdogs late. I'm waiting, if I'm on the favorite, to bet this game later in the day. If I'm betting Virginia, I'm betting it early. So again, the complimentary plays today, I like Kansas, I like Florida State, and I like Duke. And if I had to rate them, I'd say Kansas number 1, Duke number 2, Florida State number 3. And that's what she wrote for today. I wish you well. We'll talk again.